everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Lots About Something podcast. This is the podcast where we, the Lots, always talk about something, and hopefully it's going to be something to help you along your day, maybe encourage you, make you laugh a little bit. Regardless, thank you so much for hanging out with us, taking a few minutes of your time to spend, whether you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Maybe you're even watching over on Spotify. Welcome in. Thanks for joining us. And if you're new, we're glad that you're here today. I am, of course, one half of your hosting dynamic duo. My name is Chris, and I am joined by my lovely bride, Christy. How are you doing today, Christy?
Doing good.
Doing good.
You know, you were talking about watching us on Spotify.
Oh yeah, when you can listen or watch on Spotify. Yes.
I was out under the tent today, and we have a faithful listener, Miss Pat.
So you got to explain tent.
Underneath the tent at the church.
So at our church, we have small group signups right now, and we have a tent. We call it the Small Group Hub, where people can come and sign up for small groups. So that's we're not living in a tent outside. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I didn't mean that.
Oh, okay. All right. Some people may not know. I just wanted to clarify.
Okay. And Miss Pat's a faithful listener, our viewer, or she listens. She's always wanted to watch us, but she couldn't figure it out.
Okay.
So I pulled out her phone and had to download Spotify again on her little iCloud thing, her little cloud.
Nice.
And then I took her to us, and then I walked her through it and showed her where to hit it so she'd be able to watch us and not just listen to us.
Nice.
She said she really wanted to watch us. So it's not as hard as people think. So I was just saying, if I could show someone, it's easy to do. It
really is. I mean, if you're interested, the only place you can watch it is on Spotify. Now, you can watch it over on Anchor.com, which is actually who hosts the podcast. But Spotify is really easy. Where it's playing at the bottom of the phone, you just tap it; it'll pull up the video. Mm-hmm. So it is fairly easy. So
yes, I got her all.
Some people may not want to watch us though. Maybe they will. Maybe we will. You know how if you don't know how people look, you imagine them one way, and then when you actually see them, it's oftentimes shocking.
They don't look anything like they sound.
Like, do you think if people didn't know how we look, do you think that when they hear my voice, they think I'm buff and skinny?
You got a hairy face.
Hairy face?
Yeah.
I do have a hairy face. That would not surprise them. The buff and skinny part, though, that would be, if that was their anticipation,
pleasantly surprised.
That would be a shocker. That would be a shocker indeed. Well, Christy, I hope you've had a good week. Everything going good for you?
Yeah, it's been a good week.
Why don't we jump into our first segment of what's new? And so just kind of talk about what's new, what's happening. You got anything new that's going on?
Well, we did see where we were watching TV last night.
Yes.
And we had talked several podcasts ago about our favorite TV shows and how we thought that Magnum P.I. we didn't think it was going to be anymore.
The new version of it, yeah.
P.I. was gone, but then we heard it maybe picked up again. And we realized last night that it did get picked up by NBC, / Peacock. And is coming out February the 19th.
February 19th. That's what we saw.
So our show, woo, Magnum P.I.'s coming back on. Can't wait to see Magnum.
That is a really good show. I have liked watching that. I'm just glad to hear that. We're almost done. We are one episode away with being done with Yellowstone.
Mm-hmm. Mid-season.
Yeah, what's been aired. So we've watched all the ones that are available except for one. Mm-hmm. We just have one left. But then there's these spin-offs, 1893 and 1903 or something like that. I don't know, that we haven't watched and we evidently need to.
Yeah, so you say. I don't know if I'd want to watch anymore, but we've enjoyed it. One show that we have enjoyed watching a lot with Emma is, and we talked about it a couple weeks ago, The National Treasure.
That is a really good show.
From Disney Plus.
Yeah.
It's been very surprisingly very good.
It's been really good. It's actually been one of the best ones that the Disney app, I think, has done.
Yeah, I agree.
So, so there's that. I tried something new this week.
You?
So, you remember, we talked about doing new things.
Okay.
And you didn't want to do that. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago.
Well, I just misunderstood.
Yeah. So I don't know that in all honesty, I don't know that what I did new was intentional, but for the podcast, it qualifies.
Okay.
I made a new edamame recipe.
Okay.
So you bought some edamame. I asked you to. You've actually bought it several times, and Lily both times has cooked it before I got to. And so yesterday was Saturday, and we were just kind of hanging out at the house. We didn't do a whole lot. We picked up some groceries and some different things. Anyway, we weren't doing a whole lot. And so I was like, you know what? I want a snack edamame. So I Googled really quick. My intention was just to see like how you could cook edamame because I didn't even know how to cook it. I was going to cook it in the air fryer, and I came across an air fryer recipe, and I had all of the ingredients. And so I don't know if I did it right, but I had oil, and evidently we have a spray oil. Is that normal?
Did
Spraying?
you use that?
Yep.
You used the spray oil?
Was I not supposed to?
I guess so. I hardly ever used the spray oil.
I thought that's the only thing I saw, and so I thought that was it. Now, it did ask for olive oil, and that was extra virgin olive oil. I guess that olive oil was more pure than regular olive oil.
I don't know.
And
But the spray is olive oil.
I sprayed it. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I was supposed to. Evidently, you've scared me that I'm not supposed to use the spray. Mm-hmm. I took salt and garlic salt. It actually called for garlic powder.
We have that.
Okay, I didn't know that. And then chili flakes. Mm-hmm. I mixed it all together, stuck it in the air fryer 6 minutes, shook the basket 5 more minutes. It was pretty good.
Boom, made you some food.
It was really good, actually.
Yeah, it was. It was a little spicy, though.
It was spicy. I would eat it again, but I would not do the chili flakes.
Maybe you shouldn't do as many flakes.
Maybe so. Maybe so. It was spicy, but it was good, and I like the edamame. Am I saying that right? Edamame? Edamame? Edamame?
Edamame? I don't know.
I don't think it's edamame. Ugh, I don't think that's it. It's a whole different thing.
But yeah, it was good. Now, the one I buy, you can just steam it in the microwave. It says,
I didn't know that.
love steamable vegetables.
Steamable vegetables.
Yeah, I've got several that I like to buy that you just steam in a microwave. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of you for doing that. Now, last week we did talk about something new.
Okay.
So I have a surprise for you.
You have a surprise for me.
I never hardly go in the grocery store.
I mean, in all honesty, I still feel like we're behind the times on our current grocery situation because we're still going to the store to pick up groceries. I feel like the next step in our grocery shopping experience is the grocery delivery. We've not gotten there yet.
No, but Friday. So I normally wait to go to the grocery store Friday or Saturday because that's when the checks go in and that's when I can do groceries for the next week.
You're right. I forgot that you went to the grocery store on Friday. We went to Target yesterday.
Right.
That's right. Okay, I'm sorry.
So I went in the grocery store. I was going to pick up just a few things. And then I started seeing things that were on my grocery list already. And I was like, well, let's go ahead and get this. I'll just take it off my list when I do my grocery pickup.
You pretty much bought all the groceries.
So I was like, well, I don't quite know how much. I went in with a little buggy, y'all, from Kroger. And he ended up pulling a big buggy behind me as I was checking out.
So you had to get another buggy.
Because I knew this is not going to work out right. Okay. But in the middle of my grocery shopping experience inside the store, I found a product that we talked about, and I thought, even if this throws my grocery budget out the window, I am picking it up today.
Okay.
For us to try today.
Really?
Yes.
All right. What?
Are you ready for my surprise?
I am ready. I am ready because you don't really like surprises, so I'm surprised that you have a surprise. You found Starry.
I picked up Starry.
Starry. You know what? All right. So this is crazy because in all honesty, I looked for this. I didn't go in any grocery stores. I assumed that if you went into a grocery store, you could find it. But I stopped at a couple different places throughout the week. And when I did, I looked specifically for Starry, and nobody had it.
Yeah. I walked and walked around grocery stores this way, that way, and another. And as I was going to put something back, I thought, no, I'm gonna keep it.
This is a great surprise.
I wouldn't put back hummus because I thought I'm not gonna eat hummus this week. But I decided, no, I'm gonna try to eat healthy. I'm gonna buy some hummus.
So we got the hummus and the Starry.
And I walked by and I said, oh, there's Starry. And then I thought, do they have it in the black lid? Because I knew that's
the zero sugar.
And
that's what we got. If you're watching us on Spotify now, it's the zero sugar, the black can. That's what we've got. So
yep.
So we're gonna try this.
So I figured we won't pop both cans because I'm not gonna drink much of it now. But we pop the one.
Okay.
But I wanted to show.
You want to pop my can? All right. So I'm popping my can. Okay.
And then
so we're gonna try. So we have never tried this at all.
I waited so we could try this on air. This is our new thing. This is one new thing.
This is another new thing for us. So you are trying new things, Christy.
I understood the assignment.
Okay. All right.
And I knew. Okay. I didn't want to try new things all year, like every day of the whole year. I would be totally drained from that. But I'll try some Starry.
All right. So we're going to try Starry. This is zero sugar.
So this is supposed to be like a sister to Sierra Mist.
Yeah. If you missed a previous episode, we talked about this actually last week. Pepsi canceled Sierra Mist, which was like their lemon lime version.
Pepsi or Coke?
Pepsi owned Sierra Mist. Okay. They canceled their lemon lime drink, Sierra Mist, which was like their version of Sprite. Mm-hmm. And then they immediately re-released another lemon lime drink called Starry. Mm-hmm. And we kind of made fun of it a little bit last week because of the name. But are we going to try it together, or am I going to try it? You try it.
We both tried it at the same time.
Okay, same time.
When I seen it, I was like, Starry, you're going home with me, girl. We're going to try Starry.
All right. So if you don't hear anything for a second on the podcast, there's nothing wrong. We're going to be tasting Starry live, never for this very first time, ever.
We're going to see if we like Starry.
And we're going to see if we like it and give our opinion on it. All right. So for the next maybe 20 seconds, you may not hear anything, but if you're watching on Spotify, you can watch us drink Starry out of a straw. All right.
We're not going to enjoy
it. So the time starts now. Don't change the it's not a channel, but all right. Okay. All right. It's not bad.
It tastes just like any other lemon.
It tastes just like Sprite.
It's like they dumped Sierra Mist into the can and named her Starry.
That's exactly what it tastes like they did. They literally took Sierra Mist and
named it Starry.
Named it Starry, and then are reselling it. I mean, I don't really know what the difference is. Do you?
Let's see what the ingredients are.
Okay. I mean, it's not bad because I like it. I'll drink it. Now, did you only buy 2 cans?
I bought a whole container.
A whole container, like a
whole box.
Oh, like a 12-pack. Okay, all right. Well, good, because I'll drink that. That was actually pretty good. I like it.
It tastes no different.
It does not take any different than any other drink. I think it was Pastor Evan, who's the children's pastor at our church, told me. I think it was him. If I'm wrong, I apologize. That Becca, his wife Becca, really liked Sierra Mist, and she was going to be upset that it was gone. Well, guess what, Becca? Buy Starry, because it is basically the same thing.
Just a new name.
New name, same taste. Mm-hmm. That should be the slogan. If I were in the meeting, if I were in that meeting, number one, I would have fought against Starry. Typically in the meetings at church, I'm the one that's fighting against stuff. I would have fought against it, but if that was the consensus, I would have said, okay, all right, it's Starry. But I would have then said, can we come up with a slogan that says, new look, same great taste? Mm. What you think?
Yeah. But I'm thinking about stuff while you're talking.
Okay. What are you thinking? All right.
You got Sierra Mist.
Okay. Not anymore. You did, but you don't have it anymore.
Look. Sierra Mist. And then you got the other big green drink. What's it called?
Sprite?
No.
7-Up?
Mountain Dew.
Oh, Mountain Dew.
So you got a Sierra Mist.
But Mountain Dew and Sprite are completely...
Listen.
Okay.
And then you got a Mountain and a Dew. They're going to have to change Mountain Dew next.
Oh, because you think...
And like Sierra's like a desert.
Yeah.
And then you got a mist in it. And then you got a mountain and you got a dew in it.
I do not know what you're saying.
Well, like how they named them, a Mountain Dew and a Sierra Mist. Like, their names. Where did they come up with these names? So what are they going to name Mountain Dew now? If they change Sierra, they're going to have to change Mountain.
I would say
Rocky. They need to name it Rocky.
I would say Mountain Dew is probably safe.
You think so?
Like, I would imagine that Mountain Dew not only is Mountain Dew, but it has all these other flavors. I feel like it's probably doing good. Like, they've invested in different versions of the same drink. I feel like it's fine.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking they named Sierra Mist a specific reason, and they've named Mountain Dew a specific reason. We're going to come out with Rocky before we know it. They're going to change it too. I'm
going to be 100% honest. I have no idea what you're saying right now. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm going into it again. The podcast already knows. It's Sierra Mist,
okay.
Mountain Dew. Mist.
Are you saying it because they have two names, or because they both have like dew and mist? Is that
well? You got Sierra, which is a desert, and mist, and then you got mountains that may have some dew on them. So it's Sierra Mist and a Mountain Dew.
Okay.
It came to my mind as I was thinking about changing Sierra Mist name to Story.
Okay, podcast. If you can explain to me what Christy's talking about, I would greatly appreciate it. I have literally no idea what you're saying right now.
You're not listening to what I say.
I mean, you've already said it like 2 or 3 times.
I'm thinking if they change Sierra Mist, and they got to change Mountain Dew.
Okay.
I don't know why they changed Sierra Mist.
Well, I told you last week it's because it wasn't making any money.
And Starry is. Okay.
Well, I don't know that Starry. I think Starry is destined to fail.
Maybe.
Because let's just be honest, it's a terrible name. Like, if you go to a drink, I mean, you go to a restaurant and you're like, I want Coke, I want Sprite. Who's gonna sit at the table and be like, I want Starry.
You got any Starry?
You want any Starry? So I feel like Starry is destined to fail out the gate. But let's just be honest. All they did was take their Sierra Mist and put it in a new can and resold it as Starry.
It's not bad, though. We're knocking on the name, but...
The name is terrible. The drink is fine, but it doesn't taste any different to me than last time, than the other one.
And I would, if I drank, I'd probably drink Sprite Zero, or I would have 7-Up Zero.
I know I said this the other day, but that 7-Up you got the other day?
It was crisp.
It was really
very
good.
Crisp.
It was tasty.
So.
I'd like to get some for my office, I think.
So that's my surprise for the week.
All right. That was good. You for someone who doesn't like surprises, that was a pretty good surprise.
I couldn't wait for you to open up the door and see that Story was in the car.
Yeah.
It was a really, really big excitement.
Yep. So I'm excited. Well, what else? Do you have anything else new? Anything else that's going on? Nothing?
It's been cold today and rainy today.
It has been. It has been a little chilly. All right.
It's kind of that stage of weather in South Carolina and Georgia that you cut the air on during the day and then you cut the heat on in the evening. Like today we had to cut the heat on. Lily called to see if she could turn the heat on because it was, 50, 60 something degrees in the house.
I prefer it to be cold. You prefer it to be hot.
If there's any listeners out there, I'd like to ask y'all a question. Maybe y'all respond to the Instagram page this week. On my air conditioning unit, it's digital, it's electronic. There is a button that says heat and /cool. And I was wondering if it was on that, if it would keep my house at like 67. Like if it got too cold, would it cut the heat on for 67? And if it got too hot, would it cut the air on to 67? Do you know?
I don't.
You're not listening to me.
I'm not. I was looking at
So anybody on the podcast that knows anything about air conditioner buttons, I was just wondering that. I could probably Google it and Google it would tell me. But I was just wondering.
Well, you mentioned the Lots About Something podcast Instagram page. And I meant to tell you, all right, so this is not magnificent. But I am fairly proud of this.
Okay.
So we've had the Lots About Something podcast page for about 2 weeks with 55 followers.
Oh.
Which I'm not sad about. Like, I know that's not like a mega amount. It's not tons of people, but I was pretty good. And the other thing about it is there are several people on here. There's a lot of people on there that I know. Most of the people that are following the page, I know them. But there are several people that I do not know that maybe either listeners or they just kind of found the page.
The humor.
Yeah. So, all right. So that kind of brings me to something I wanted to bring up and talk about a little bit today. I found something this week that I thought was interesting. It was the 2022 most used apps. And this is primarily on iPhone. I'm not sure how different it would be on another phone, but this is primarily the top most used apps for 2022 for the iPhone. Okay.
Okay.
Now, how do you want to go through these? You want to start at I'll just read through a couple of them. Okay.
No, we can do all of them.
No, I'm not going to do. So 49 is Uber. Have you ever done an Uber?
I have not.
You've never rode in an Uber? Would you ever want to ride an Uber?
No, because they're strangers.
Okay.
I wouldn't get in the car with a stranger.
All right.
Okay.
47 is Pinterest. That seems really low.
Well, it used to be a really good, what do you call it, an app? But now to get to recipes and stuff, when you click on it, you have to go through a lot of reading to get to what you're actually wanting to look at. I don't know if it got really big and they couldn't handle it all. But even if you look at clothes or stuff like that, sometimes you click on a pin and it takes a long time to get to it. So I could see where that wouldn't be.
So you feel like Pinterest is on the downfall.
And I think we say it wrong. I think some people call it Pinterest.
Pinterest?
I call it Pinterest. But
Pinterest?
But I say a lot of things wrong. So I'm thinking it could be that low now.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the first game, I don't play this game. It's called Attack Hole. That sounds. I've never played that game, but it's a tack hole. So if you're a tack hole fan,
You a tack hole.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So that's just the first game. It's not the best. It's number 46 on the list. All right. So if you keep going up, here's one that I thought was interesting.
Okay.
Photo Math. It's number 35.
Probably because kids use it nowadays to click on their math problem.
Have you used this before?
I watched Emma use it.
I tried to use it one time helping Emma with her homework, and they sent me a response, but it was 2 days later. I needed help right then, helping her with homework, and they gave me a response 2 days later.
Right. I watch Emma use it sometimes. And I ain't gonna lie, when it comes to word problems and stuff, I'm snap a photo of that mess. Let's just go ahead and see if we can get the right answer.
Okay. All right. A couple of streaming apps. Peacock is on there. HBO Max. DoorDash, 31.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Spotify, where you can watch or listen to Lots About Something podcast. Number 23.
Okay.
All right. So 23 most used app. Amazon. Now, you just learned how to use Amazon.
I'm still afraid to press buttons on Amazon. I have learned to put it in the cart and go and save it for later.
Yeah.
So I don't buy something immediately.
Okay.
Because I'd probably get in trouble if I bought everything that was in my save for later.
Yeah.
So if you see some save for laters.
That's you.
And you want to buy it, just click on it and buy it for me and let it surprise me at the door.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So you got Amazon's number 22. Facebook Messenger, 19.
It should be down way low.
Oh, I would think it would be higher.
Really?
Yeah.
Facebook Messenger?
Yeah.
Do you open all your Facebook messages?
I don't.
I know you don't.
I don't, but I do have it on my phone.
It's not something that I necessarily use a whole lot.
Okay. So Twitter, number 15. To be honest, Twitter actually, I think, is on a downward turn. Some people are mad because Elon Musk bought it. Do you know who Elon Musk is?
I think he fired a lot of people, but that's all I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Cash App, number 14. I'm more of a Venmo guy.
Okay.
I think I like Venmo better.
I don't know how to use either one of them. I said the other day, your mama and them were wanting to send money, and I was like, I need a Venmo account so people can just send me money.
You have a Venmo account. I have a Venmo account.
I don't have a Venmo account.
I have one.
But
And
that
our
goes
money
to you.
is together.
That goes to you.
Our money is together.
I need a Venmo account. Just surprise me with some money. Like we can have a Venmo account together on different phones.
Yes, you can.
I've never seen a Venmo.
All right. So
Okay.
we haven't. There's
I know
only
we
a
have a joint
couple of apps that you know how to use.
And they're not on the list.
I
yet.
haven't seen any of them on the list yet. So I know what they are. I just wonder if they are
even made it.
even on the list.
Okay.
Amazon, you've kind of dallied with a little bit.
Right.
All right. So, okay, here's one. Oh, back to the Venmo thing. We have the same account. Like, you don't have an account and I have an account. We have the same account. Why would you need your own Venmo? It's going to the same place.
Because I don't understand Venmo, I guess.
Okay. All right.
Like when people send Lily Venmo,
It goes to
Go to
her
Lily.
account because she has her own
I
account.
feel like it has to go to me because it's on my phone.
But, all right, so people send Venmo.
It's got to go somewhere.
It has to, you don't spend, now I guess you could, like Cash App, you can get a Cash App card and spend out of it.
Okay.
And a lot of people, some people use Cash App as a bank,
Oh, okay.
but I think Venmo does that too. Anyway, all right, here's one that you use, kinda. It's Google Chrome. You love Google.
That's Google?
Well, it's the internet browser for Google is Google Chrome. It's a Google product.
So this is where Emma came to my phone the other day, and I couldn't open up anything else because I had 500 of them.
Yes. Yes. You had too many tabs open up on Google and it wouldn't let you open anymore on your web browser. That is correct.
It was like, Mom, they won't let you do that anymore. You have 500 already open. And I was like, oh, okay. As y'all can tell, I'm very smart in the electronic era. I know a lot about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. I
So-
didn't even realize that I had that.
So number 12, Facebook.
I have Facebook, but it's not like,
Now, did you know that Facebook is currently in the process of, I don't know if they'll do away with Facebook altogether, but they're currently in the middle of changing their brand to Meta.
yeah, I think that's a bad idea, but
Do you think Meta is better than Starry?
must be the same creators.
It must be. They must be in the same meeting. Okay. All right. Check this out. Number 9. So far, this is the only restaurant that I have seen.
That's
I'm
crazy.
at number 9. It's the only restaurant I've seen on this list, which is like the top 50. McDonald's.
Is Chick-fil-A on there?
I don't know. I'm only at number 9.
We got to move on up.
All right. So Gmail. Oh, here's YouTube. Do you know how to use YouTube?
Uh-huh. I do.
All right. What do you watch on YouTube? I am interested to, like, I know what Emma watches. What do you watch on YouTube?
I watch worship videos.
Okay.
Right now, keeping baby Cal, I watch baby sensory videos to help his little mind with black, white, and red stuff.
Okay.
And, my little vloggers. Is that what you call them?
Yeah.
Vloggers. I
Okay.
watch a couple of them.
All right. So here's Gmail.
I have Gmail.
You have Gmail, but you say you don't know how to send emails.
I don't. I know how to forward it. If you were to say right now, pull out your phone and send an email,
Try it.
I'd say help me.
Pull out your
I don't even
phone.
know who to send an email to.
Send it to me. Send me an email. Like, I won't help you. Just see if you can pull out it. Just see.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that right now.
Okay. All right. All right. So it's a no on sending me on an email on Gmail.
I'm getting very flustered now just thinking of having to send an email. I don't want to do that.
All right. All right. I don't want you to get flustered. Okay. Here we go. Here is number 5.
They almost became a nemesis.
Really? Instagram almost became your nemesis.
You don't remember?
Oh, because they blocked you.
When they blocked me? Yeah.
But here's the deal. You don't do... This is your social media fix. This is about all you do social media wise. You do reels. You do...
And I've learned how to send reels to people. That I think is funny.
Next level stuff right here, bro.
You pick at me because I call them reels all the time. And if I like them a lot or follow them, then that's the reels that I watch.
Okay.
A lot of it.
Yeah, well, the algorithm picks up, and if you watch stuff, it replays those things and things like that. Mm-hmm. So
it's very smart.
All right, here's number 4.
Now that's Google.
This is Google. So the first one is the browser. It's Chrome.
Okay, I don't know about
this. Is actually Google.
That's where I go to look up a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Google. Yeah.
So you are a big Google fan.
Mm-hmm. And listen, I was trying to set up Google or YouTube on... I was trying to set up something the other day on the TV, and I didn't know any of my passwords, and so I just went out of it because I was so afraid that I would block myself out of Google and not be able to get back in, and I Google stuff all the time. And so I was like, no, I can't. I'm just going to have to watch it on Emma's account. She wasn't happy about it. She's like, can't you do your own account? I was like, yeah. I think it was... Do you have to get Google to get YouTube?
YouTube and Google are connected.
I didn't know my Google information.
Okay.
So I started watching my stuff on Emma's again.
All right. So the top 3, I actually have 2 of these. All right. So number 3 is TikTok. You don't have TikTok. You're a Reels fan. Mm-hmm. All right. So TikTok. Number 2 is CapCut, which is... It's a video editor.
You have that?
I have it. I don't use it a whole bunch. I use it very, very little, but I have used it before. And then number 1 is actually an app that I have literally never heard of.
And that's number 1?
Number 1 is called Temu, and evidently it's a shopping app, and it's ranked number 1. Temu. I've never even heard of it.
One that's not on there should be the Chick-fil-A app. Chick-fil-A app will save your life when it's got a long line. If you do a mobile order and go ahead and pay for it, just pull right up to the people and say you had a mobile order, and it takes literally 10 seconds versus...
I think there's a lot of controversy around Chick-fil-A just because of their Christian values.
Well, I'm all for it. I don't necessarily like it a whole lot, but my girls do. And Lily works there, so I'm going to
The other app that's not on here that's your app, so Chick-fil-A is one of your apps. Google is one of your apps.
I can work Chick-fil-A app, and I can work the Target app.
Target is the other one.
And I know how to go pick food up from Chick-fil-A, and I know how to do a Target pickup.
So I am surprised. So Walmart is on here, but not Target.
Yeah, that's surprising.
That does surprise me, too.
I think some girls like the Target experience, and so...
So you think it's like... They like the full-on go inside, walk around, get a Starbucks.
You know, Emma picks at me because if I'm in my pajamas, I'll say, oh, we can go in Walmart looking just like this. But then we had to go to Target yesterday, and I was like, we're not going in Target, right? And then was like, why? I was like, because we got to change our clothes. We're going in Target. So it's kind of like an experience for me when I walk in Target.
Okay. All right.
I don't have to buy anything at Target. I can just go to the comfort aisle. The Comforters and Joanna Gaines aisle and just look around, get my Target fix, and leave.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So... All right, so let's go back to this Instagram thing. Obviously, Instagram and TikTok are the 2 big social media platforms right now. Another one that's not on here that I'm kind of surprised about, but I'm not mad about, I'm actually pleased, is that Snapchat's not on there. I think Snapchat is on the down.
Yeah.
Not as many people are using it as they were. At one time, it was the number 1 app, was Snapchat. But so... There's a lot of, obviously social media is a big part of our culture in our society. And there are people in all things, there are people that love social media. There are people that don't like social media. There are people that are 100% for it, and there are people that are 100% against it. What's your opinion on social media just in general? Like, obviously you use Instagram, you use Reels, those kind of things. What's kind of your opinion just on general social media use in culture today?
I'm not a poster. I don't post stuff. Very rarely.
Okay, it took me a second. I was like, you're not a poster.
Like, I'm just a
viewer. You don't post a lot of things. I'm a viewer.
I'm not a poster, yeah.
So you're not a contributor. You're a consumer.
You know, a lot of people post stuff that's not even the real thing. It's almost like a facade. That, you know, if it's the perfect picture of the day, oh, let me post this. And so then people, you know, get obsessed with, you know, am I as good as they are? Look how great they have it. And it becomes a competition and comparison. And I don't have time for that. And so I just quit posting a lot of stuff because I don't have time.
Yeah. Okay.
I do like to look at some things, some videos. You know, I don't look at anything wrong. So that's just my opinion. Now, I like that you post the podcasts and stuff. Some of your little clips that you post. That's fun to look at. And I like to look at what some other people post. I'm just not one of those that post a whole lot about anything.
Yeah.
But I also don't like people's opinions about things I post. Some people post stuff to get opinions and stuff, and I don't really care what other people say, so I just don't post anything. And I don't comment back when I see things that I want to comment back on either.
Yeah. So I think a couple of things. I think social media is what you make it. Now, I do think that it can be very dangerous. Pastor Wesley actually today at church talked a lot about things taking up time. I know I have been guilty of that before. And I mean, I'm not saying that I don't. It's something you have to constantly be aware of, is setting your priorities, putting the things that matter most. But I cannot say that I have not ever wandered down the social media consumption trail, black hole, so to speak, and been lost in videos or posts or what does this person say or what does this person think. But I do think that social media is what you make it. Now, it has a lot of bad. It has a lot of good. So I found this one article, and it's called Technology for Mindfulness, and it's talking about social media. I didn't love the whole post, but I did think this was good. The dangers of social media. Mm-hmm. So cyberbullying. Mm-hmm. And I do think that's a real thing. I think kids, it's more difficult for kids today because if they're getting picked on at school, now they go home and it continues on social media.
Right.
And so I think that's a dangerous area. Mm-hmm. It needs to be, parents need to be mindful of what they're doing. Now, you know, we have friends that have just drawn the line and said absolutely no phones, no social media, and maybe they're right. Now, for us, we made decisions where we would do some social media, but not all social media. But it's still, I mean, you still have the dangers of that. We had a girl the other day or a couple months ago messaged Emma the other day about some kind of drama that she was trying to start, and it got Emma all in her feelings, and she was accusing Emma. Now, that wasn't a social media thing, it was a text message thing, but still, you know, that's access to people that before, like in our generation, when we were kids, when we were home, they didn't have that kind of access to us. But kids have more access to each other through social media. And so the potentials for cyberbullying are there. So that's a real thing. Reduced attention. People not having less attention spans. I think you can see that where things need to be quicker. They need to be more impactful in short periods of time because people have less attention spans. Social comparison trap. People are comparing their everyday to other people's highlights. And so, you know, people get caught up in that. Like we're sitting there eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and they see somebody on social media on a cruise.
Right.
And so they're like, man, my life sucks. I'm eating peanut butter and jelly, and they're they're living the high life. And so we compare their highlight to our everyday.
Well, I mean, and then I look at that as, yeah, they may be enjoying their cruise, but extremely in debt because of the cruise.
Okay.
And we're having us peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and we ain't sitting there as far as in debt as maybe they could be. I mean, that's just the way you look at it.
Well, I think that's a different conversation altogether. But I think in those comparison things, you have to remember your why. So, like for us, especially for the new year, we've set some. We are trying to be more financially healthy. We've set some financial goals to try to accomplish some things.
And it's been tough since
only been like 3 weeks.
Since we have hit obstacle after obstacle.
No, that is true. We've had.
As trying to save, when you're trying to save, it can be tough to save when something occurs.
No, that's 100% true. And whenever you do good, I think there's always obstacles that you have to overcome, but you just kind of have to keep going. Mm-hmm. So, but there is that comparison trap that if you allow yourself, I have done that. I've seen people get a new car and thought, man, I'd love to get a new car. I've seen people get, a new couch and I'd be like, man, I'd love to get, well, not a new couch. Actually, I miss our old couch.
We got it right here, buddy.
I know. All right. So, and now I'd like to get rid of this old couch.
But it is comfy to still sit on.
I do like it. Data theft and information abuse is a challenge, and then tech addiction. So obviously there are dangers, but social media is not all bad. It's not all bad. And when I say social media, I think you have to look at the overall idea of what social media is. Like just the overall picture of it. Social media is much more than Facebook. It's much more than Instagram. It's more than TikTok. It's interaction and it's engagement with other people. And so there are some positive things surrounded around that. So I found another article of things that are good for social media. Okay. So number one, it's great for connecting with family and friends, which I think is true. Do you think that? You're just looking like you don't agree with that.
I'm still thinking about what you just said.
Okay.
Connecting with other people. Is that what you said?
Well, that's what this article is. It says some good things about social media. One is connecting with family and friends.
Maybe. If I'm going to connect with somebody, I'm normally just going to text them or call them. Well, I don't really connect so well with connecting.
But like, all right, but there are people, maybe not for you as much, but there are people in high school that, let's just be honest, I know them from high school, but I kind of get to keep up with what's going on in their life because I'm friends with them on social media. So even though we don't have to talk all day, every day, I kind of know. Like, for example, this is sad news. There is a friend of our family's that passed away. I didn't know about that. I'd not been in touch with these people for years and years and years. But he just passed away recently. And I would not have known that at all if it wasn't for social media. And so it just kind of helps you to just kind of stay connected briefly. Now, is it friendship? Is it the connection that God wants us to have with other people? No, it's not that. And if the only friendships that you have are through social media, then that's not enough. But it does allow for distant connection to take place.
I guess the only thing it does for me is I may not know someone personally, but because they're friends with me, and they see my girls or you or whatever, they feel like they do know me because of Facebook. But that doesn't mean they truly know me.
No. And I don't think that social media is the highlights for people. And so we don't really know people. We only see them in their highlights, but we don't really know the content of their life. All right. So it also gives us inspiration from artists that you admire. So I don't know inspiration, but it lets you keep up with people that maybe you follow or things that you like, music that you like, people that you're a fan of. It lets you kind of keep up with information from them. That's not a bad thing. Mm-hmm. Like, is there somebody that you follow that you really...
There's a couple of people I follow. I don't watch them much anymore because I feel like they've made too much money. And it's gone to their head.
Oh,
but
wow.
I won't name any names on them.
Okay. Well, who's somebody that you follow that you like? Like somebody that you're a fan of that you just follow them for information's sake?
I like the Stew Crew. Carlin and Evan.
Stew Crew? What is that?
They're a vlogger family from the Dates.
Okay.
You asked me who it was.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I've never heard of them.
I watch Natalie Grant and follow her and her husband.
Okay. All right.
Carrie Job, I've watched her.
All right. So yeah.
So not many. I mean, you act like I should have a lot of names.
No, I don't think it has to be a lot. I don't think you should have time to do a lot, but it does let you connect, see information about people that you like or follow.
Look like, who are you talking about?
I don't know. I mean, I know who Carrie Job is.
With me.
I know who Carrie Job is, but I don't know who those other people are.
Okay.
You said Stew Crew. I thought they were like a chef company. Like they were making stews.
No, that's the Stewart family. They're the Stewarts.
Participating in an online community. I have done this, and though it is not a, it's not the only relationships. I have made genuine friends through an online community. My buddy Dusky, through the Fortnite podcast Discord that I'm in, he is a genuine friend of mine. Mm-hmm. And so, Kat, my buddy Kat, is a genuine friend. Dusky lives in the north. Kat lives in the south. They don't live anywhere near us, but they're my buds. And so, there is opportunity. Now, I don't think I'm best friends with everybody, but there are genuine relationships that can be built from those things.
I agree with that for you.
Yeah.
Not necessarily for me. But
now, I don't think that those should be the only relation. Again, here's the key. If those two guys were the only friends, or the only friends I had were online communities, then I am missing the personal interaction that I think that we need with each other. But it does create opportunities for friendships. Ganker is not an online friend, but I connect with him through online communities. I knew Ganker well before anything like this was going on, but he and I became better friends, good friends, through online communities because we had similar interests and likes.
Okay.
All right. So here's another good thing. It helps you to learn new skills. Like, I tell you one thing that I like on social media. I follow it on Instagram. It's called the Buzz Tasty, or maybe it's just Tasty, and they do all these recipes and stuff. And another thing is, I love to watch people build stuff. There's this guy on TikTok, and he just teaches you how to do everyday stuff. Like I watched him earlier. He taught me how to change a light socket, like a light switch in my house if I needed to. So there you go. You learn new skills.
When you going to do that?
I'm not planning to do it anytime soon.
I'll help.
I actually would like for that guy to just come do it for me. Have you ever learned anything, how to do anything through social media?
I watch stuff all the time.
Do you? What is one thing that you can remember that you learned through social media?
Well, it's not necessarily social media, but through YouTube.
Okay.
I learned how to unclog the tub drains.
Okay.
And I learned how to take the pipe out of the sink drains to make sure it wasn't clogged.
Okay.
I've also learned how to change headlight bulbs and tail light bulbs from using YouTube.
You can pretty much learn how to do anything on YouTube at this point.
Anything I don't know how to do, I YouTube how to do this, and there's someone to help me.
So that is a difference between you and I, and you love to go and tinker with things. I'm not a tinkerer. I'm just like, whatever. Mm-hmm. But you love to tinker with things. Uh-huh. So, all right. So you learn new skills. You express yourself. I think there's good and bad in that, but you get to express yourself. Research. You could do research about things. And then the last one, which I think benefits us as a podcast, is you build an audience to show them something that you love or that you're working on. And so for us, people that connect with us, generally, most people, I think, have connected with the podcast through social media, through one means or the other. That's how they've learned about the podcast. So there's good and there's bad. It's just like anything. Pastor Perry used to say that there's good and there's bad in everything. It depends on which one you choose to focus. Now, I don't think you can ignore all bad, because if you ignore all bad, then there's no protection. There's nothing that you learn from. You have to guard yourself, but I don't think you can always just focus on bad. You have to be able to focus on the good as well. That's true for life in general. That's just a good life lesson as well. Mm-hmm. So, you got a wow for us today?
I have a wow, and then I wanted to show everybody something.
Okay. All
What
right.
do you want me to do first?
It's your choice.
So you got me something for Christmas, and I just plugged it in.
Yeah.
To,
All right. So just for clarity, it's January the 22nd. I gave you this gift on December the 25th.
Mm-hmm.
And right before the podcast started, you just used this for the first time.
Put it on.
All right.
And you had seen a TikTok.
I saw this on TikTok.
And I just saw a video on it the other day, and I was like, I have that.
Okay.
And it sparked me to use it.
All right.
So, folks, you put it on. I like little earmuffs. And I wear earmuff warmers when I walk. But you put this bad boy on, and then you connect your phone to
If you're
it.
watching on Spotify, you can see the gift.
Oh, yeah, I'm putting my gift on the video. So you put it on. It's got little
I think the thing's supposed to be, yeah, there you go.
Bluetooth. It's Bluetooth activated to my phone. It's got 2 speakers right here at the ears and a little play button right here, and it plays my phone music to my ears, and it keeps my ears warm while I walk. So, and I loved it. The sound quality is really good, and I just wanted to show anybody, if anybody else would like to get one. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I think
Not an ad, but we could be, just saying.
Just saying, if y'all walk or run and want to keep your ears warm.
This section of the podcast
But
sponsored
I
by
use
this
AirPods,
headband.
and I don't really like AirPods a whole lot, but this is inside the cloth, and it's got good music quality, sound quality, just FYI. So you would
Okay.
have to, if
It's
y'all are
Lua-
interested, Instagram message us, and we'll send you the
It's
link. to
Lua
get it.
Leisure. I saw it off TikTok, and I'll tell you why I got it. It's because it was really cold. It had been really cold. I got it for you, and I got it primarily because I thought it would keep you warm. But then we went to a Christmas thing, and you ended up winning a pair of earbuds. Beats earbuds, but then you weren't a big fan of them, and so I gave you my AirPods because you had already given your AirPods to Emma, and so now I have the Beats and you have the AirPods.
Yeah. So that was a little gift I wanted to show.
Okay, all right.
Just keeping the podcast going here. All right. So my wow for the day is a devotion I've been doing.
Okay.
It's called How to Stay Young at Every Age. And I thought, I'm getting on up there. I should probably see how to stay young. But in my devotion today, it was talking about God's Word and how we should stay interested in God's Word.
Okay.
And it says, never approach prayer or studying God's Word as an obligation to be fulfilled. Approach it as a privilege to be enjoyed. The Word of God is medicine for our souls, and we should take our medicine regularly, just as a person who needs physical healing should do. God's medicine is His Word, has unlimited refills, and its side effects are life, healing, joy, strength, and restoration. So get some of God's Word. If you take medicine, you take it every day. So
Yeah.
if you're reading God's Word, you should read it every day.
That's good.
It's like good medicine. And then the scripture for that is it's in Proverbs 4, verse 20 through 22. Dear friend, listen well to my words. Tune your ears to my voice. Keep my message in plain view at all times. Concentrate, learn it by heart. Those who discover these words live, really live. Body and soul, they're bursting with health.
Okay.
So, just saying, keep it plain sight and plain view, and read it every day.
That's good.
I thought it was like medicine to the soul. I think if you're doing something, keep doing it. So keep reading your word and keep learning God's word every day.
It's good.
So that was my wow for the day.
Great. All right. Anything else?
Did you like that?
I did. I thought it was good.
Okay.
I thought it was really good.
Okay.
You got anything else for us?
I don't think so.
No? Is that it? Hey, you talked about the tent earlier that we don't live in reference to the tent that's at our church where people sign up for small groups. I actually had someone mention to me that they'd been listening to the podcast, and they said they made an interesting statement. I don't know if it was good or bad, but they said it was like you and I have conversations and they're just in the room listening to us. I think that's a good thing, right?
Sure. we're having a conversation and they're just listening to us?
Yeah, it's like they said that's what it felt like when they listened to the podcast. Like we were in the room having like we were having a conversation and they were just in the room listening to what we were talking about.
Okay. Well, I mean, if they want some input, they have to go to the Instagram page and put
There you go.
in.
There you go. Yeah, we would love for you to do that. If you haven't visited the Lots About Something podcast Instagram page, make sure you do that. Hit the follow button. If you have not done that either, it's also a great place for you to connect and send messages, all that kind of stuff. You could also do that at Christy Lots, spelled just like the podcast. Of course, you can watch us on Spotify, listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcast. Well, that's it. That's all we got for you today, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us a little bit. And I guess until next time.
See ya.
Bye, guys. Thanks for being here. Y'all have a great one.